Hey there, Coach Abaxial here with Game Gym Online. Thanks for coming in. Regardless of whether you want to win a Clash tournament with your friends, climb to Challenger, or one day go pro, we're here to point you in the right direction. This is Completing the Push, Part 1. So, Minion Waves. Minion Waves are a continual source of gold and experience for both our champion and that of our lane opponent. The closer a Minion Wave is to your team's base, the safer you are, and the more dangerous it is for your opponent. Likewise, attempting to farm at a wave that is deep in enemy territory is riskier for you and less risky for your opponent. This is true both from a jungle gank's perspective and a trading perspective. More on this later. However, the further a wave is from the enemy turret, the harder it is to complete the push. What is completing the push? When your allied minion wave reaches an enemy turret and receives damage. Completing the push has two primary consequences. The first is the allied minions in the wave will die quickly. The opposing team is therefore motivated to keep one champion there to farm the wave, and if a skirmish breaks out during this time, the opposing team may have to make a hard choice between taking the farm and taking the fight. It also ensures that the minion wave will eventually reverse direction and push back towards allied turrets. That is, the opponent will not successfully freeze the wave. What is freezing? Well, freezing is when a champion prevents a larger opposing minion wave from reaching an allied turret. The opponent is forced to choose between pushing a wave that is dangerously in enemy territory, or simply giving up the farm and trying to do something else on the map. Therefore, we will focus on learning where and how to stack the wave. Stacking, last definition for now. Farming the minions in a wave only with last hits, not using multiple auto attacks or abilities to push the wave. This means the next wave will arrive in the same place or only slightly further up in the lane. So, we want to complete the push. The wave must not be too close to our turret, especially at the start of the game, levels 1 through 5, because we cannot kill minions so quickly. If it's too far back, the next opposing minion wave will have enough time to intercept, and this next wave will now be too far up. Now we will put ourselves in danger. The answer is to complete the push from the center of the lane. Let's try and visualize this. Look here from the perspective of a player in the top lane on blue side. So the blue zone is safe territory, but if we push from here early game, the next wave will probably get stuck in the pink area. The yellow space is the ideal place to complete the push. If we push from here, especially if we have a small minion advantage, it should make it to the enemy turret. Pink is to be avoided when possible. Our opponents will have an easier time ganking us, and even in the 1v1, our opponents may have a trading advantage because they're very close to their turret, it's hard to chase them. Please note though that this image is only an approximation. Some champions have strong wave clear even at early levels and thus can complete the push from slightly further back or without a minion advantage. Also, if a champion has ranged auto attacks or an escape, they may be safe against ganks even if the wave is in the pink zone. But enough details. Let's practice. Exercise 1, 3-wave push, ending on cannon. Head to practice tool. You may pick whatever champion you like. Same goes with runes and starting items. When you're in game and have your items, you may head to the top lane. You can also warp there with Shift plus S and speed up the game to save some time. On the first minion wave, do not hit them early in order to try and make things easy for yourself. Only last hit them at the last possible moment. If you miss one or two, that's okay, that's not the point of this exercise. So really try and focus on the minion auto attacks, following them, and only trying to farm the minion at the last possible moment. Same thing on the second minion wave. Try and keep the wave in the middle, don't over push. When the third minion wave arrives, start spamming your abilities and try and push the wave as fast as possible. Here, it's okay to miss one or two. You just want to push as fast as possible. Try to make sure you get the cannon though. Now, what we have here is my wave is going to crash and hit the turret cleanly. This is completing the push on the third wave. We need to be careful to avoid pushing too fast. This is going to look a little bit different between practice tool and actual games, but still the point is going to remain the same. Don't over push. This is a situation I want to avoid. I didn't really complete the push on the second wave, and now the wave is very far up. Every jungler in the game can gank from the third wave like this, so I could very easily be in a lot of trouble if I tried to come up here and hit these ranged minions. Overall, this subject probably seems simple so far, but of course, it gets more complicated playing against a real opponent having to manage your trades. If you want to keep learning about completing the push, then I'll see you in part 2.